Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Mitts Talks. I am so thankful you guys are tuning in this week. Happy Sunday to all of you guys if you're watching this today. If you're watching it at some point in the middle of the week, thanks for watching it. I appreciate it, even if it wasn't on Sunday. But, all right, guys, first, before we get this party started, I do want to take a moment and say I am completely sorry that I did not upload any content for the last 2 weeks. I do know there is a consistency expectation to this, and also at the same time an accountability, right? You guys hold me accountable. If I'm telling you I'm dropping information every single week, you kind of tune in and then you kind of say, all right, great, but then when you don't see anything, what happened? You know, I will be honest with you, work schedule's been pretty crazy. You know, as you do know, I am a father, so my son keeps me very active and busy. And then at the same time, I had not always had this space available to be able to do my recordings. So that is actually what impacted, but I am working on it. So please bear with me, guys. I will promise to consistently keep going back to my every single week upload. But with that said, let's segue into this episode, right? Let's get this party started. What am I going to talk about this week? So I'm going to talk to you guys about high impact versus low impact when it comes to working out. But before I get into this episode, I'm going to stop for 1 second and give a big shout out to a good friend of mine, Tate, who just completed the Chicago Marathon 2 weeks ago. Tate wasn't really heavy into running prior to her and I working together, and she got inspired by the people we work with, and she started running, and she was killing the game. She turned around, got into Chicago, and then ran Chicago. Super proud of Tate. I admire her, proud of her, and she is inspiring. She is so inspiring that her and a coworker of mine, Dennis, went ahead and got me to... They basically got me all excited about it, so I signed up for the lottery to see if I could get into the Chicago half in March. So cross your fingers that this works out. If it does, my fitness game is going to change completely. And that is actually what is inspiring this week's episode. A lot going on in New York City. We got the New York City Marathon taking place next Sunday. Big shout out to everyone who's running that. You know, I admire you guys. Wish you all the best. And know that hopefully one day I'll get out there, because that is something I've always wanted to do, run a marathon. So while everyone is getting excited and inspired by running, a lot of people might turn around and say, man, my friend, my sister, my brother, my uncle, my husband, my wife is running it. I'm doing it next year. Screw it. And then just go out, lace up their shoes, and then hit the streets or go to the park. I will definitely tell you, and you've heard me say this before, and I'll say it as many times as I possibly can. Educate yourself when you're getting into fitness. Educate yourself on different type of workouts, right workouts for you, the wrong workouts for you, and the nutrition, right? I keep saying these all the time. So if I'm going to give you a bit of an example that I went through, right? Because I understand high impact versus low impact, because I got dealt a pretty heavy blow to that one. So about 3.5 years ago, I was out on a run and I hurt myself. Prior to getting on this whole thing, I used to kind of be a bit into running. I used to average about maybe 10 miles a day, you know, a little less than that here and there, you know, with a pretty okay pace, right? And I had one day to stop running. And then I was like, I'm not gonna run for this time. And then one day we turned to two turned to 3. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I got all this weight on me. This is crazy, I gotta lose weight. And what I had only known is running. So here I go saying I gotta lose this weight, and I go ahead and I go on a run on my lunch break. I'm not even a mile into this run. And of course, me being Elvis, I stopped to take a selfie. So my knee locks up when I stop for the selfie, and I'm like, oh man, what is that? So, you know, kind of crack out my knee, and then I just try to continue the run. My knee was shot. And my knee swelled up. I couldn't even really bend it. So I was like, man, let me just hobble my way back to work. I get back to work, and I said, you know, maybe in a couple of weeks, my knee will be okay. A couple of weeks go by, my knee is not okay. My knee is swelling up. So I go to the doctor, and the doctor, you know, he's checking on my knee. He weighs me, and he's like, I was probably weighing like a good 250 at the time. And the doctor's like, you know, how did you hurt your knee? So I tell him I was running to lose this weight. And he says, you know, you should really consider high impact versus low impact. Blew my mind, because I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. So I'm thinking that high impact versus low impact. And then I did the research, right? So I weighed about 250 pounds. Now, here I am doing this high impact workout, right? I'm out there and I'm running, and all that weight is crashing down on my joints repeatedly at a fast pace or what I consider fast pace, at a fast pace, I caused trauma to my knee because of that reason, because of all that weight hitting my joint. So what I'm trying to say is there are low impact options, right? A Stairmaster, an elliptical, a rowing machine, or just three like ones that I can think off the top of my head, an assault bike, another one. These are low impact is great as you're slowly starting to lose the weight, and then you can transition into high impact workouts. So low impact, you could be doing the rower for a while, start dropping that weight, making sure you're eating right. Stairmaster, the same thing. As your body starts dropping that weight, then what ends up happening is you can start being more active, more agile, move more faster, and then you can protect those joints from and protect yourself from getting injured. So what I'm trying to say by that is the answer right off the bat is, and I've heard this so many times, it is so common where people who have a pretty good amount of weight on them, that their goal is to lose that weight, go out there and start running. Speed walk. You have to transition to this. Again, you don't want to end up hurting your joints when you have a good amount of weight on you. You want to be able to, you will get to that point. Once you start dropping that weight, then you'll be able to kind of make sure you protect those joints. Now, 70 pounds lighter, yeah, you know what? I can definitely go out there and get that running going again, and then make sure that I do the right things to protect myself as far as like stretching out, cool downs, all that good stuff, warm ups. But again, making sure that now I'm at a right weight to, tongue-tied. Now I'm at the right weight to be able to do more of a high impact workout than as I was before. But for a while I was doing the Stairmaster, I was doing rowing, I was doing assault bikes, as well as eating right. And that's actually what helped me get to where I'm at now. So protect yourself. As inspiring as everything is right now with everyone going out there running, if you want to be the next marathoner in 2020 or 2021, great, get out there. But if you do know that you have some pounds on you right now, slowly start getting that weight down, and then you can start increasing the high intensity workouts, the high impact workouts. Trust me guys, I've been there. That knee pain was a nightmare. It took me almost 8 months for my knee to heal. So again, you want to make sure you're doing the right thing to protect your body. There's nothing more unmotivating or demotivating than having to take a step out or take a step back because of an injury. So hope this helps. This is actually, I really think about it right now with New York City Marathon going on, and everyone I'm talking to is getting inspired that, just protect yourself, guys. That's actually really why this episode was inspired, this week's episode. High impact versus low impact. If you have any additional questions or you want to know a little bit more about, my injury, my recovery from my injury, and then kind of additional tips or suggestions, feel free to hit me up. Send me a message on this. Also, I'm on Instagram, but again, I love talking to you guys. Next week, I got some great more content coming out to you. Guys, I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you for giving me this